everyone, this video demonstration is the next in our series QuickBooks Online Getting Started, working with the Banking Center. In this demonstration, we will go through an overview of the Banking Center, how to connect bank and credit card accounts automatically, how to connect bank and credit card accounts manually, how to manage transactions, how to get your data automatically into QuickBooks through app transactions, how to set up your rules, how to set up your tags, and what is receipt capture, how to reconcile bank and credit card accounts. Let's get started. The Banking Center in QuickBooks is the central location for managing day-to-day bank transactions downloaded from your bank and credit card accounts. QuickBooks includes a powerful feature referred to as the bank feed. In other words, you can connect your online bank and credit card accounts directly to your QuickBooks company file. Connecting your bank and credit card accounts to QuickBooks Online is a great way to track income and spending without having to manually enter every transaction. Only recording income through sales forms while leaving out expenses provides an incomplete perspective of your business's overall health. However, creating records for every transaction can be a huge task. If you connect your online bank accounts in QuickBooks Online, the program will automatically download the last 90 days of transactions recorded by your bank. The program will match existing entries already in QuickBooks Online and add new records for incoming transactions without a matching entry. This feature ensures your accounts are always up to date and drastically reduces the amount of daily data entry. The efficiencies built into the Banking Center translate into higher profit margins, better and real-time data, and a more profitable business. Connecting bank and credit card accounts to QuickBooks Online is a simple process. It is important you understand how to manage the Banking Center to avoid posting old and/or duplicate transactions. Although connecting your bank and credit card accounts is a great way to enter historical transactions, it is recommended that new users also become comfortable manually entering transactions. You can connect and download transactions from many types of accounts: business checking, savings, money market, credit card, and PayPal accounts. You may need to manually export a downloaded file from your bank and upload it to the Banking Center. I would advise to try to connect your accounts automatically. If the bank does not allow that, then proceed with uploading the transactions manually. Let's go over how to connect a bank or credit card account to QuickBooks and then choose how far back you want QuickBooks to pull your transaction history. To get started within the desktop view, go to Bookkeeping, select Transactions. Within the Accountant view, you simply choose Banking. You should be able to view the Banking Center. If this is the first bank account you've set up, select Connect Account, or select Link Account if you've already created one. If you come over from QuickBooks Desktop, you'll have to connect your bank and credit card accounts again for security reasons. In the search field, enter the name for your bank, credit card, or credit union. If you can't find your bank but still want to add your transactions, you can manually upload your bank transactions. We will demonstrate this in the next section of our training. I'm going to add a credit card account from American Express. I will sign into my account with my user ID and password. If you have multiple accounts with the institution you're setting up, you can choose one account or all to connect to. I'm going to just choose one of my accounts, then select the account type drop-down arrow. Choose the account type that matches your chart of accounts in QuickBooks. If you don't see the right account type in the drop-down, select Add New to create a new bank or credit card account in your chart of accounts. Select how far back you want to download your transactions. Some banks let you download for the last 90 days of transactions. Others can go as far back as 24 months. If you want to connect your bank account from your chart of accounts, you would go to your chart of accounts located in the gear icon under the company section. Find the account you want to connect to. In the action column, select the View Register drop-down arrow, then select Connect Bank. Follow the on-screen instructions to connect your bank to QuickBooks. Now let's talk about how to connect your bank and credit card accounts manually. Let's walk through the manual export and import process for bank and credit card transactions. Once you log in to your online bank account outside of QuickBooks Online, determine how transactions are exported, the date range available, and the type of export available. Some banks won't let you go back more than 18 months, or even 3 months at a time. There might be several download file types available, depending on which bank you use. The QuickBooks Web Connect option is preferred. Once you successfully download and save the export file from your bank, the next step is to go to the Banking Center in QuickBooks Online. Our file is a QuickBooks QBO file. Click the gear icon, choose Import Data, select Bank Data. Select Upload Transactions, select Drag and Drop, or select Files, and then select the file you downloaded from your bank. Then select Continue. Account drop-down, select the account you want to upload the transactions into. Then select Continue. If you're new to QuickBooks, you may not have an account to upload the transactions into. If you don't see your account, select Add New from the drop-down to create a new bank account. This screen shows the import is completed and you need to accept your transactions. Select Done. This takes us back to the QuickBooks Banking Center, and the next steps are to categorize the transactions and either add, match, or exclude duplicated transactions. As the bank populates the transactions, they reside in the For Review section of the Bank Center. It is up to you to accept these transactions. Once accepted, they will post to the bank register and move to the Reviewed section. If a duplicate or old transaction appears for review, simply exclude the transaction. On occasion, you might want to undo an excluded transaction and move it back to review. You can filter transactions by date or a specific type of transaction. You can search for one specific transaction by description, check number, or amount. When bank transactions populate in the bank center, they look for existing transactions to find a match. The order in which transactions are posted is important to avoid duplicate transactions and costly cleanup. We recommend the following industry best practices order. Sync or import payroll when using a payroll service or QuickBooks Full Service Payroll. Receive payments against invoices and make deposits. Clear up undeposited funds. Apply checks to open bills. And then open and review each transaction. You can access the bank register from the banking center by choosing the blue Go to Bank Register link. Other options include printing and then exporting to Excel. Select the gear icon to add or remove the columns displayed. Turn on grouping if you want the transactions grouped by month. Customize transaction details and choose how many transactions to show on one page. Click on individual transactions to open the window with all the available fields. Notice your different options. Categorize is the preferred option. It allows you to control where the transactions are going and is more forgiving if you need to make any changes later. Find match. This looks for a transaction that already exists in the register. The order of operations is very important. If you record a check, deposit, or payment with a different date, name, or amount, the banking center will not automatically show the match, and you will use the Find Match here. When I choose to find match, I can filter transactions within a specific period to locate the transaction. Next is the Record as Transfer. This recognizes transfers between accounts and sometimes picks up expenses or ACH payments as transfers. Transfers do not require a vendor name. Let's say you are transferring funds from the checking to the savings account. You can use Record as Transfer or change it to Categorize, create a vendor name transfer, and select the savings account as the category from the chart of accounts. Transfers are not as forgiving if you need to make edits later. Also, it only recognizes balance sheet accounts. Next, you can record as a credit card payment. This is a new 2020 feature that creates a payment from the checking to the credit card account. This feature is not as forgiving as Categorize and harder to change later. It only recognizes credit card accounts in the chart of accounts. You can use this for credit card payments or use the Record as Transfer. While this transaction is open, verify the date, vendor, category, and any other fields that require information. When you turn on features such as location and classes, they will appear in each transaction. It is your job to assign a location or class as you accept the transactions. This will prevent having to go back and edit transactions, which is a time-consuming process. Next up is the memo. This is an extremely valuable field that provides bank description information that tells a story. Often the vendor's name and other important information can help us complete the transaction. I use the memo field to get more information about transactions that don't look familiar. Many times they even include the phone number. Notice the options to add attachments, create a rule, exclude this transaction, or split transactions. A split transaction provides the option to split a transaction between account categories and classes. It can be helpful when you need to split an expense or principal and interest for a loan payment. When working with app transactions, select the App Transactions tab to choose available apps that you can connect to for free. For example, let's say you sell from eBay. If you connect the free app to your transactions, they will automatically sync to QuickBooks Online. You can look for other apps for selling from other online stores. Rules are a great way to identify where a transaction should be posted. Rules save time during the review and accept process because they memorize how specific transactions for specific vendors should be recorded. Keep in mind that QuickBooks will remember prior posted transactions and populate vendor names and categories based on the memorization of this rule. Take time to review each transaction before accepting to avoid costly cleanup errors. First, click the Rules tab, select New Rule. Customize your rule by selecting the name to call the rule. Since the newspaper payment is paid monthly, I will name the rule Newspaper Subscription. The money comes out from my credit card. I pay for the subscription each month. Choose to filter by any or all. Choose to search by description, bank text, or amount. Choose the condition to contain, doesn't contain, or is exactly the text entered. I will choose description, contains newspaper. You can add another condition. Once this is done, you can select Test Rule. The test will tell you how many unreviewed transactions this rule will apply to. In my example, 10 transactions will be affected. Next, assign the transaction type, whether it's expense, transfer from another account, check payment, or credit card payment. Ours is an expense. Keep in mind if we chose money in, we would have a different set of transaction types. Next, we need to choose the category of the expense. We can also choose 2 or more accounts to split the total amount by clicking on Add a Split. Choose the payee's name, which is recommended to make sure you have the correct transaction. Lastly, type the tag named Categorize for reports. Turn off Auto Add until you are confident using the Banking Center and rules. Auto Add automatically accepts transactions to the bank register without your knowledge. We recommend you change the description to bank text when setting conditions. This will help the system recognize transactions to automatically assign the vendor customer and account category. Now let's talk about tags. Tags are customizable labels that let you track whatever you want. You can add tags to transactions such as invoices, expenses, and bills. The nice part about tags is that it does not affect your financial reports. Track things like subcontractor expenses, sales rep income, or best-selling items. Basically, whatever is important for your business to get a deeper understanding to make good business decisions. Go to New, choose Tag Group. Enter the group name. I will enter Sales Rep. Select the color to associate to your group name. Select Save. Next, add tags to the group. I will add our sales reps, Sean and Jared. Select Done once finished. Now, when you enter an invoice, expense, or bill, you can add the tag. On the tags page, you will see the listing of tag groups. Here you can run a report on any tags issued. You can add a tag, edit a tag, or delete the tag. To delete multiple tag groups, checkmark all the tag groups and select Delete Tags. We will go into greater detail in working with the QuickBooks Online series. Receipt capture in QuickBooks Online allows users to directly upload receipts to the QuickBooks Online Banking Center, where QuickBooks will read the receipt and either match it to an existing transaction or allow users to add a new transaction. Because this has so much information, I created a bonus section going through how to use the receipt capture in detail. Now let's talk about reconciliation. Reconciling your bank account and credit card accounts is an important task to ensure all transactions are accounted for, input errors are corrected, and all outstanding transactions are verified. Completing the bank reconciliation process for all financial accounts is key to accurate data in financial statements. Click the gear icon, select Reconcile, select the account you wish to reconcile from the drop-down list. Refer to the bank statement to verify the beginning balance, enter the ending balance, and enter the ending date. Click Start Reconciling. Now you are ready to reconcile the account. Select Deposits and check off all deposit and credit card transactions that appear on your bank statement or credit card account. Verify outstanding transactions and make corrections as needed. Select Payments and check off all checks and ACH transactions that appear on the bank statement. Verify outstanding transactions. Research and make corrections as needed. You can click Edit Info to change the ending balance or statement date. Verify that the following match the bank statement: the beginning balance, the statement ending balance, the payments total, and the deposits total. The difference should be 0 when you are done. Click the drop-down arrow to choose one of the following options. You can choose Finish Now to complete the bank reconciliation process. You can Save for Later to save your work and resume later. You can choose Close Without Saving to start over. Your work will not be saved. Now that we have completed a successful bank reconciliation in QuickBooks, you can click Done or View Report. A reconciliation report will open, providing summary and detailed information. Once the bank and credit card accounts are reconciled, reports and historical information are available from the Reconcile window. If you are no longer in the Reconcile window, click Gear and then select Reconcile. Click Summary to access a list of all recent reconciliation summaries. Click History by Account to access all reconciliation summaries by account. All right, we finished the banking section. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe to my videos.